It's time for Dodger Baseball.
What a catch by Mookie Betts. Another home run for Corey Seager. Another strikeout for Kershaw. A robbery of Tatis. Gone. Will Smith. This is what an ace looks like.
And tag out is Riley, a double play.
Dodgers have won it all in 2020.
And welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. I'm your host, Doug McCain. Thanks for rocking with us after the Dodgers massacred the Mets. They got a big road sweep. They go 5 for 6 on this 6-game East Coast road trip, and the Dodgers got it done with the bats. 14-4 was the final score of tonight's ball game. The Dodgers had 2 nail-biters, 2 back-to-back extra innings game. Well, we had a laugher tonight, and it was close for a quick second there, and you saw the Mets were threatening, but the Dodgers offense was explosive. 5 home runs tonight for the Dodgers, and they get the big and much-needed road sweep of the LOL Mets. The Dodgers now 25-10-3 in series this year, and we got a lot to get into in this one, but first let me know where you represent Dodgers Nation from tonight. Give me those city zip codes, area codes. Let me know where you're rocking with Dodgers Nation. Also, give me your player of the game. We've got tons and tons of options tonight, but let's get right into those comments. Here we go. We got What Up D-Mac from El Nino. Welcome back. You had a good day today. Omar, all the Dodgers have to do is win every series the rest of the way. We got Dodgers kill the Mets. We destroyed the Mets. Way to sweep Dodgers from Tess Guardia over on Facebook. Sweep Mets was great. A lot of broomsticks. Yeah, give me some broomstick emojis down below in that comment section. And you can't say that Los Angeles is the city that never sweeps, because this team went in there and they dominated New York. And you see they're now 13-1 since 2016 at Citi Field. They own the New York Mets, and it was a big series for the Dodgers going in there in a business-like blowout today. It was just a really nice win for the Dodgers. That was great from David. We got defense was ugly at times. Travis Harrison. We're going to get into that. Yeah, I mean, one, you have Trey Turner, who's adjusting to playing second base. He's a true shortstop. He is going to be the shortstop of the Los Angeles Dodgers next season, hopefully beyond that. And he has to adjust to making that turn, making that exchange, and that's going to take a minute. And as you see him do that, he has the fielding skills. He has the ability to throw. He can be a Gold Glove second base if he wanted to, but baseball players are creatures of habit. When you play the majority of your games at shortstop over the last few seasons, it's going to take a minute. Now, the decision with Will Smith to go to third instead of first, that was definitely a play that he'll probably want back. Even he had Justin Turner pointing to first to make the play. So, yes, absolutely, Travis, there was some sloppy defense there. There's always stuff to work on, but most importantly, the bat just lit things up. It's another thing, too, when you have a comfortable lead, you tend to get complacent at times with the glove, but championship teams can't do that. You got to keep your foot on the gas, and this team was doing that offensively, but there were some lapses defensively tonight. You're absolutely right, but that was great. It most certainly was, David. We got Roberto, go Dodgers. Our offense is starting to look much better. Yeah, I think one of the big things, too, you had 5 sacrifice flies this series, and you're seeing a different way of generating runs, and that's definitely a very promising side for this Dodger team. It's not just going out there and relying on the slug. Yesterday, they were getting no hit by T1 Walker until Will Smith. He crushed that bomb, and then you had the double by Cody Bellinger to put them on top there late in the game. But, yeah, I mean, you're starting to see a more of a dynamic approach, and you're starting to see what Trey Turner can do on the base pass and how he is able to score runs. I saw a stat that ESPN posted during the game that said that he already has the 11 fastest scoring runs for the Dodgers this year. And it's crazy. It just feels like he just was traded here and he's already has that many runs won. But he was actually going through a little bit of a slump as we started this game. He was 2 for his last 17, and today he really showed up. He showed out. Trey Turner goes 3 for 4. Yeah, the double. And he also had the walk. So he did exactly what you want to have your leadoff hitter do, going up there, wreaking havoc on the base pass. You also see that slug. But here we go. The Dodgers came out with the broom. Jonathan, the boom led to the broom for sure when you see that, what happened tonight. But Diane Schroeder, welcome to the show, always rocking with us. Dodgers slaughter, not so mighty Mets. I like that one. I like that one, Diane. Come on with it. Defense was ugly at times. That was great. Dodgers sweep. I love L.A. From Richard Eagle over on Facebook. We got Let's Go from Adolfo over on YouTube. Richie Salmon, William Bloxon, don't celebrate, keep focused. I think that this team is focused. This team is not a team that's going to go and pop bottles and throw a San Diego Padre-like parade because they swept the Mets and they took 5 of 6 from the Phillies and the Mets. This is a team that understands what it requires to win a World Series championship. So you know they realize they're 4 games back of the San Francisco Giants. The Giants won today 5-2. The Dodgers won today, so they keep pace with the Giants, but they were able to gain some ground yesterday with that Giants loss and that Dodgers win. So it's 4 games back this week. Another thing, too, remember what happened the last time the Dodgers beat up on the Nationals? They went on to win some games against the San Francisco Giants. So the Dodgers are going to make the Mets a hungry team as they head out west and start a 3-game set versus San Francisco. So hopefully they can get at least 1 or 2 games because this schedule for the Dodgers, this next homestand, really softens up with the Mets and you got the Pirates. So I really think that things are turning around for this Dodger team. You saw 16 players on the IL. That's 4th most in Major League Baseball right now. So there is some adversity. There is that attrition, and they're overcoming a lot of these injuries and a lot of these issues. But Mets, who we got? I really love LA. We got Go Blue, 28 more wins for 100, which probably might win the division. That's another thing, too. You got a team that's on pace to win 100 games. It's just the standard that this Dodgers team and this franchise has set when you win 8 straight division titles, when you make it to 3 of the last 4 World Series, when you're coming off a World Series win, the expectations are sky high. It's a World Series or bust roster. And look, that's just a credit to what this Dodgers franchise has built over the last decade. And really over the course of over 100 years, dating back to the Brooklyn days. But Fernando.com, a sweep from Ryan M. Damn, Mets got rocked. Anthony, sound is back. Oh, yeah, there we go. Sweep thing. I appreciate it. Anytime I have any audio issues, when you guys point that stuff out, I can't tell you how much I appreciate that because it helps me fix it in real time. So much love to that. Dodgers 2080, my man. Go to the site Dodgers 2080 because you want to get your prospect game right. And Dodgers 2080 is a website that's dedicated on the future Dodgers. So you go there, familiarize yourself, and then when they get called up to the show, you already know everything about them. So you're sitting with your friend. They're like, hey, man, this guy's a scout or something. So definitely go to Dodgers 2080. Follow my man Tim Rogers at SD Dodger. Man down San Diego, how sweep it is from Michael. What up, Doug? What up, Jonathan Robles? Mad Max for MVP. This is what we have to do from now on. Let's go Dodgers from Alejandro. Anytime you guys give me a Let's Go Dodgers, you're going to get one of those. Jason, call the cops. There's a massacre in New York. Anthony Keene, yo, D-Mac. Happy Sunday, my dude. By the way, I forgot to I reread the tweet you responded to me on Twitter a while ago. I saw the Believers. I missed that, but hey, man, you're fire with that. Can't keep up with your wit, man. Show sponsored by Check's Muddy Buddies from Mary Connor. That's hilarious. Max Muncy MVP, East LA up in here from Jason over on YouTube. David, this is revenge for the green laser pointer in poor Muncy's face. Yeah, he was hitting lasers tonight, 2 to be exact, and they weren't of the green variety. They were of the bomb variety, and that was definitely something that I think that was extra motivating for Max Muncy to go in there. I can't believe that LOL Mets fan just did that, and it was pretty. That was very very dangerous. You can't be doing that. You can't try to blind our players, but apparently the Mets fans were in a New York state of blind, and that's the only way they could try to beat the Dodgers was to try to cheat the Dodgers. But, hey, the Dodgers showed why the NL East is the worst division, at least one of them, in a conversation for it in baseball, because you don't see the depth. You don't see the talent from top to bottom, especially when you got guys like Francisco Lindor who have a sub-100 OPS plus after you give him a $341 million contract. And then Jacob deGrom, who's unfortunately out as well. So checking in from the 210 San Antonio. What up, Leo ZZ Top? You've been on the show so many times, I can't remember you telling me you're from San Antonio. The question is, Leo, you a Spurs fan too? Not judging, just wondering. Jason, we made the Mets angry. They're going to take it out on the Giants this week. That's what I was just saying, man. I'm telling you, that stuff works because they're, as bad as the Mets are, they're still right in the mix in the NL East at 2 games back heading into today's action. So that's anyone's division at this point. By the way, drop those broomstick emojis. I'm seeing lots of them from Cool Dutterson over on Periscope. We got 15 straight. How you doing, Larry Scott? How was the bike ride this morning? We got Munt City Field. Ryan O'Ryan Montez. You're killing with that one. I like that. I like that. Munt City Field. There we go. Yoo-hoo from Cherry. This is a statement sweep. We got Rima loving the Dodgers out here in Oregon from St. Louis, from Carla Keefe over on Facebook. Goat, this is a good time to mention that there are so many bandwagon Dodger fans that whenever their other team scores, they say to fire Dave Roberts from Goat. Look, this is where I stand on Dave Roberts. I like to keep it real. I like to give him credit when he deserves it. I like to criticize him when he deserves it. But the issue I have is when you got people out there that are waiting on pins and needles to jump on Dave Roberts any opportunity they can. And then when he makes some good moves like he did yesterday, those people are nowhere to be found. They're Homer Simpson backing up into the hedge, right? So that's the big thing with me is if you're gonna trash him, at least give him credit, and I'll have a little more respect and credibility to when you want to trash him. Because look, Dave Roberts isn't. There is no such thing as a perfect manager. There really isn't. But look what Dave Roberts has been able to do with this squad, considering the amount of injuries that they do have, and we'll see how this year plays out. But he really had a nice game yesterday. I mean, you take out Bickford after the 2 punch-outs, but when you look at those matchups and Bickford in the splits in that next matchup, Corey Knebel is really the guy. And also, I think that you want to put Corey Knebel in a spot where he's getting those saves. If you've watched this show the entire year, you know where I stand on Corey Knebel. I want to see a closer by committee with him and Kenley Jansen divvying up the saves in that situation. But D-Mac, we finally won in extra innings. That's for Mr. First Cat. We did. I'm telling you, no one wants to see this team in extra innings. And it was big that they won that game, because if they had lost again in extra innings with their 13th loss, and they had lost 11 straight extra innings games. If they had lost their 13th for the entire season, they would have tied the 1969 Montreal Expos for most consecutive extra innings losses, because it was 12 in 1969. But broom from Leo. We got Trey Turner has played second before Bill Jones. He's played second. He's played center. But you still have to adjust when you played. Let's look at his 2019-2020 splits. It's just going to take a little time, because this guy is a shortstop. He wants to be shortstop, and I'll look at the camera right here and tell you that Trey Turner will be the starting shortstop for the Los Angeles Dodgers next year. There's no doubt in my mind, because he's too good of a player, and you also want to put yourselves in a position where you're going to re-sign him, and that way that you re-sign a guy like that is you put him in positions that he wants to be in, and you start that courting process. And they're not going to say, hey, Trey Turner, you're the new second baseman, because they also have their high hopes on Gavin Lux. We'll see what happens with Corey Seager and get into that whole thing. But a total domination in this game. ESPN butchered the call. What did you guys think of A-Rod tonight? Like I said, give credit where credit's due. You know how I'm pretty hard on A-Rod at times, just listening to the game on mute and whatnot. But when it comes to A-Rod tonight, I did like the fact that he was defending the Dodgers when Matt Vasgersian was doing the whole narrative about the Dodgers having an unlimited cash flow and how they have unlimited funds to try to pay their players. I get it. But why don't you point out that Justin Turner was essentially a homegrown player, with the fact that he was non-tendered by the Mets, and they go on to develop him into the most productive postseason player in Dodgers history. Then you have guys like Max Muncy and Chris Taylor. So how did we get no hit by nobody? Yeah, how about Gilbert yesterday? Max Muncy hit 2 bombs. Yeah, who's your MVP? Or who's your player of the game? Dodgers took a bite out of the Big Apple. Give me your mock headlines too. I like that from Anthony Keene. Let's go. We got. Scherzer didn't look as sharp as his last start, but he did get the job done. Look, if you look at that first inning with Scherzer, he goes out there and throws those 21 pitches, but with the sloppy defense, he could have got out of it from that standpoint. We got Michael Littlewood, I love LA, go Dodgers, keep it going from Tina G-Man. We got talent of Max Scherzer overcame. We are spoiled. We have high expectations. Exactly. Sweep. We got smash that like button from Rusty Nail. Appreciate that. Yeah, if you're watching this show on Twitter, be sure to retweet the show. If you're watching on Facebook, share the show. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel and hit that like button. Awesome. Love my Dodgers. The Mets didn't look mighty in this series. Dodgers crushed them. We got Go easy on these poor Mets. They've been carrying a heavy weight. Love my Dodgers, but we will win it through the wild card. $10 from my man Steven Toe over on YouTube. Appreciate that. These are your World Championship Dodgers. Show some positivity for the rest of the season. Hey, man, I don't know where you're from, but I appreciate that money, man. D-Mac, where are you from? I'm actually from Pasadena, California. Currently reside in Santa Monica, but I appreciate no one's ever asked me that question. It's like the Where's Waldo thing. Everyone asked, where's Waldo, but no one asked how's Waldo, right? But thanks for what someone asked me where I'm from. I appreciate you, man. What's the line for the postseason, Doug? Too early for that. I'm sure we'll drop a video on that. Don Kim, what up, D-Mac? What up, Don Kim? Always repping with us, rocking with us over on YouTube. We got Sandy from the 530 over on Facebook. It's raining brooms in New York. Go Dodgers from Roberto over on YouTube. Destroy the Mets. We got the 817 area code Dodgers fan. I like that. We got a broomstick and an apple from Julio down by the schoolyard on YouTube. Great job. We got no ride to work today. Urias should only miss one start, pound for pound. Yeah, if you go to DodgersNation.com, it's a good article about how it could be a precautionary IL stint for him. You see, with when it comes to Julio Urias, he's a guy that he's been outstanding this year. Him and Walker Buehler, when it comes to innings, have really carried this Dodgers team when it comes to the starting rotation. And Julio Urias, when you look at those innings, they are piling up. He's currently at 139 and 2/3 innings pitched. His previous career high was 79 and 2/3 innings pitched back in 2019. So I'm sure they're monitoring that closely. And look, you got hit in the calf, you got a little bruise. Who knows what's going on? But it's something that won't break the Dodgers, and hopefully he can come back fresh and just continue to be productive and continue to be a big part of this Dodgers rotation, which the Urias has been all season long. Sweep the Pirates too. What up, Doug? Rich Hill going against the Giants. Can't wait to see it. He's going to have that Dodgers uniform underneath that jersey. #Fire Day from Keith Evan. That's such an original take. I appreciate that, Keith Evan. Way to elaborate on that one. Nice one. If you're gonna come at me, man, you gotta. Don't let facts get in the way of your feelings, right? If you're gonna bring some takes, some hashtags, throw in those takes. I'd appreciate that. Show your work, as my man Clint Pasillas, Mr. One of the senior editors here at Dodgers Nation, likes to tell me. Pittsburgh, easy sweep opportunity, 14-4. Dodgers will win the division. Yeah, I love that. So we won by 2 touchdowns, and they got 2 safeties, essentially, right? Dave Roberts is my hero from Carlos Joss. Who is the guy who pitched for the that's trust me, you're not. This is an all-time record for the Dodgers. 33, I believe, is the number the last time I checked. But yeah, I mean, Connor Green, man, nice show. He goes an inning tonight, gives up that hit, had the punch out. Only 9 pitches though. So Dodgers recently picked him up, and he's a kid that he's from Santa Monica. He's from Santa Monica, Connor Green. And it's really nice to see. I mean, he's 26 years old, was DFA'd by the Baltimore Orioles. Really has some hard stuff. You see him on the gun, 96, 97, a big dude. But that is the answer to your question. But it's just funny when you think about that's not, usually if someone would say that, you'd be like, man, are you a casual fan? But no, that's completely understandable when you follow the season for the Dodgers with the amount of injuries they've suffered through, whether it be the bullpen, the position players, the starting rotation. So trust me, you are not the only one to look out there and be like, who's that guy? They even has Dave Roberts. I think it was Bill Plunkett of the OC Register a few days ago. He said, hey, Dave, be honest. How many of these pitchers did you know any of them existed more than 2 weeks ago? And Dave Roberts said, hey, the only thing that matters is I know who they are now. So, yeah, it's a complete justified question. But we got he never says that about the Yankees, though. We got don't touch Max Scherzer, pound for pound. Exactly. We learned that story. You don't touch Max Scherzer. Even he said to Dave Roberts, don't effing touch me. Some of the don't touch me guy. They like their personal space. You saw when Max Scherzer was coming out after hitting that sac fly after McKinney had got that triple, and Max Scherzer he did his job with the RBI sac fly there. He avoided him, and everyone knows the rules. That's the rules. You don't touch Max Scherzer. But Stray and Scherzer, those are your players of the game. By the way, keep coming in with those players of the game. Doug, is Buehler's velo going down? From David Too Saucy. Look, right now, good question. Actually, I did something on Buehler today. It'll probably drop tomorrow. His velo is down. It's like 95.3 is what he's averaging on that heater. But you're also seeing the usage go up with that slider. The cutter is really his go-to secondary pitch. He uses that curveball. He even sprinkles in a changeup at times this year. So he has evolved. He's a much more dynamic pitcher. And has there been a little bit of some ticks coming off that velo just slightly from 96 over 96 last year to over 95 this year? But in my opinion, he still has that in him. It's not a big drop-off. It's not a precipitous decline like we've seen with Clayton Kershaw, where he's going from 94s, 93s, 95s down to 90s like we saw in 2019 or high 89s. Nothing like that. So to me, I think that Butane understands at this point of his career, he's got to keep some gas left in that tank, and that way when he's in the postseason, that's when he unleashes, and that's when you'll start to see him get over 97, 98, 99 more consistently when he needs to throw it by guys. But the reality is he's a more effective pitcher because he's a guy that can get you some more ground ball outs, get guys out quicker in counts, and not rely on just missing bats and throwing it past guys to finish off hitters. So I love the evolution of Walker Buehler, and it's crazy to think that if I told you before the season started, what if Walker Buehler's velo had a dip, but he was a better pitcher? You might not believe me, but that's actually the reality this season, and I think that he'll take home the Cy Young Award. I think that's between him and Zach Wheeler. Zach's been wheelering and dealering all season long, and then Corbin Burns, he missed some times, but he's been fantastic. He's actually the leader in WAR. Jacob deGrom, of course, he had a 1.08 ERA before he went down, so he was a guy that was definitely the front runner, would have definitely taken it. He would have ran away with that award had he not gotten injured. But I think that Walker Buehler, if he finishes strong, he's going to take that award home. He's 23 of his 24 starts this year. He's given you at least 6 innings pitched. So he's quality, and you love it. But Ray F. with the broomsticks. Will Smith, 3 home runs in 3 games. That's from Craig Osterberg. Yeah, Big Willie style was getting it done in New York. D-Mac, let's go from Mexico City. Carlos Alvarez. D-Mac, you think Sear could play third? David Tussauds? Yeah, I definitely think that's an option for him. Does he want to do that? Does he want to go into the market with him and Scott Boras and say, I'm a shortstop, so pay me premium position shortstop money? I think that should be their game plan. If it's to make more money, that's what you have to do, and then maybe you transition in a year or two. Because remember, Corey Seager, it feels like he's been in the league for a million years. It feels like he's been a Dodger for a million years, but the guy had turned 27 back in late April, so he's still a very young player in the grand scheme of things. But Doug, can we all thank that guy that pointed the laser at Mad Max? He made him very mad, and Max called payback. Yeah, definitely. I mean, shout out to that guy. Max Muncy went off. You love to see it. Shout out to my old hood in El Segundo. Oh, cool. Hopefully you found your wallet. We need to fire Dave Roberts to get to that next level. Juice Narrows. We got Rebecca. Totally, Alex. D-Mac, did you hear Mad Max doesn't like praising the dugout? That's crazy. Hey, man, look, pitchers are interesting. And when you have achieved the kind of success that Max, by the way, Mad Max is another guy that you got to throw in that Cy Young category too, that Cy Young race as well. And he would join the Steve Carltons, the Randy Johnsons, the Greg Maddoxes, the Roger Clemens of the world as guys that have 3 or more Cy Young awards. But, hey, man, when you're as good as he is, you can do that. But Jazzin hooking up for $1.99. The Dodgers Nation mobile app is a W. By the way, if you have not downloaded the Dodgers Nation app on iPhone and Android, definitely download that app, getting lots of really good reviews because it just basically takes all your Dodgers content and puts it in one app, from the Dodgers Nation stories to the YouTube videos to the podcast to the Twitter to the Instagram and all kinds of games and stuff. It's really, and still getting better and better. So definitely download that app. You guys will love it. Show some love to David Price. Absolutely. D-Mac, the Dodgers have lost the second most WAR this year, only behind the Mets, who hard more lost WAR and injuries. Yeah, I mean, look, you lose a guy like Mookie Betts, who's been one of the WAR kings along with Mike Trout over the last few years, and he's been in and out of that lineup dealing with that lingering hip injury. It looks like he's got that bone spur that gave him the shot. Hopefully that relieves the pain enough to where there's not ongoing achiness with him. But, yeah, I mean, and then, of course, Clayton Kershaw, Dustin May. Any update on Joe Kelly? No update. Hopefully we'll learn something. The speculation, since they're not speaking on the injury, is you have to probably assume that it's COVID. So hopefully he'll be back in the lineup in that Dodgers bullpen very shortly here. Butane is amazing. That's from Rebecca. We got we can't look ahead. Pirates are a scrappy young team, no question. Just need to win series, and hopefully we will sweep. Root for the Mets the next 3 games. Need to make up 1 game a week on the Giants. Yes, Brian, that's exactly correct. But yeah, let's get into this game a little bit. Bro, we coming from Christopher. We got Butane, Cy Young. Yeah, let me know down below in the comment section. Do you have him as your Cy Young Award winner, Walker Buehler? Do you, D-Mac, do you think we should play Cody Bellinger in the postseason? Absolutely. I think that Cody Bellinger is coming along. 3 doubles. He actually coming into the series, heading into today. You know, he's right up there with Corey Seager for most hits on this road trip. And tonight he ends up going. I think he went 1 for 5, had the 2 punch outs. So there are some at bats where you see some of the bad Bellinger that we've seen, where he's really late on pitches, and you're seeing some kind of ugly strikeouts. But for the most part, you're seeing him hit for more power. 2 home runs on this road trip, 3 doubles in 6 games, and that's what you want to see with Cody Bellinger. He was heading into today with an OPS over 1,000 on this road trip, so he's making progress. And to me, you look at the defense. You look at that I like that from Dave Clown Bartz over there. Time to get no hit tomorrow. Hey, Dodger fans, you guys are the best. That's exactly what's probably going to happen. Make that a perfect game, right? The way this season has gone. But no, I think this offense with Trey Turner leading things off, and you got Justin Turner. I think one of the big takeaways today was how good he looked, hitting that big home run early in the first inning there. It showed that he didn't have many ill effects from that groin discomfort. So that, to me, was one of the big takeaways. And I think this offense is really, really ready to catch fire. And we saw that today, just really going nuts with 14 runs. But you saw some better at-bats up and down this lineup today. And then how about Matt Beatty goes deep? Stephen Toe hooking up with another $10. I appreciate that. D-Mac, how come Matt Beatty is not getting more playing time over Scrub McKinney? I don't get it. Thoughts? So, Stephen, great question. Look, you guys know I'm a big fan of Matt Beatty. He has the power. He has when he's hitting the baseball. You look at those exit velo numbers. He's a guy that when he's making contact, he's hitting rocket shots. And you saw he hit a 67-mile-per-hour fastball to the moon. I'm not calling that a fastball. A ball to the moon. Just absolutely massacred that pitch. And really, I think it comes down to what Dave said is McKinney just having those at bats, turning over the lineup. And that sort of thing. But I think with Matt Beatty, it really comes down to also defensively. And if he was a better player defensively, especially in the outfield, you would see some more options for him, because that's really the place where they have for him right now is those corner outfield spots. And look, if first base was open, I think you would see more Matt Beatty. Third base, kind of a question mark there too. So the reality is, if Matt Beatty was a better defender, he'd be playing more. But also, you got to take the good with the bad. And I think that Matt Beatty can give you a dangerous at-bat. But it was nice to see McKinney finally get off the schneid a little bit today. He goes 1 for 5, had 2 strikeouts, but he did have that big triple that led to a run. Thanks that Scherzer sacrifice fly there. But here we go. Offense was fire. He sent it to the moon. We got I'd rather McKinney and Wright. Okay, so let's break down this game a little bit, guys. See where time we're at. All right. Here we go. Oh, by the way, a couple reminders. Be sure to go to gearup.la for latest Dodgers Nation merch. Some of the best Dodgers t-shirt designs in the game. You're going to find it right over there at www.gearup.la. But yeah, so top of the first inning, Trey Turner goes with a fastball to right field for a base hit. Max Muncy grounds to the pitcher. But Trey Turner advances into scoring position with 1 out and Justin Turner at the plate. And on a 3-2 count, JT crushes a cookie slider 397 feet to left for a home run, his 21st of the year. And Justin Turner said non-tender that home run. And that was big. Put the Dodgers up 2-0. His 21st home run of the year. His career high is 27. He's hit 27 bombs twice, once in 2016 and once in 2019. But that made it 2-0 Dodgers. And then Corey Seager grounded the pitcher for the second out. Then on the first pitch, Will Smith hits 1 out to make it 3-0 LA. His 3rd home run in 3 games against the Mets. Will Smith owns the Metropolitan. So the Dodgers coming in 52-18 when they score first. Now they're 53-18 when they score first. That's really big for this offense. And then bottom of the first, Nemo single to left. For with the single. Conforto grounded to first, Nemo to second, and then Alonso hits a number to Will Smith, and then JT was pointing him to first. He goes to third, and he saved, giving the Mets runners on the corners with 1 out. Will was trying to get the lead runner, but he was saved, and that gave the Mets runners at the corners right there with no outs. And then Smith pops it to the infield for this, or no, with 1 out. Then Smith pops it up into the infield for the 2nd out. And then he strikes out Scherzer strikes out Jeff McNeil. He gets McNeil to fly out to retire this side. So he leaves those runners on the corners. He did have some undue stress that inning, ends up throwing 21 pitches in the first, but another really, really quality start for Max Scherzer. He definitely is as Max-vertised. Just tonight he goes 6 innings, gives up 2 earned runs, allows 4 hits, had 7 punch-outs, 2 walks, threw 94 pitches total tonight. And then moving ahead, so let's go. Max Scherzer, 37 years young. What a game. That home run from JT against his old team is huge. Absolutely. What happened to Players Weekend? I don't know. I mean, with the change over to Nike, I think they might have changed that over to more of the City Connect jerseys, but that's probably, I mean, that's at least my guess. I don't know that for a fact, but here we go. And then we got Dodgers bringing the fire. Ain't worried about Turner at second. Been a rough series for him defensively. Yeah, he'll get it right. I mean, he has too much talent to not get it done at second. So that's kind of one of the least of my concerns. But top of the second, Bellinger cranks a leadoff double to right center on a sinker. McKinney struck out swinging. Scherzer grounded shortstop. And then Trey Turner, he doubled to center, scoring Belly. That made it 4-0 Los Angeles. Then the next batter, Max Muncy, on a 3-2 count. He crushes a cookie changeup, his 24th of the season. That made it 6-0 Dodgers. So the 24th home run of the year for Max Muncy. That gave the Dodgers a 6-0 lead. And then we jump to the bottom of the third. So a leadoff walk to Conforto. Alonso smoked one to left. CT3 made a diving catch attempt. I was getting flashbacks of the 2018 NLCS, his catch against the Brewers in Game 7. But it goes over his head, and that gives the Mets runners on first and second, no outs. So Max, he gets Smith to pop to second for the first out. Then Jeff McNeil grounds the second for the second out. And then Conforto scores on the play, making it 6-1 Dodgers. Then Alonso advances to third. And then he gets Davis swinging with a high fastball for the third out. Then we jump to the bottom of the fourth inning. So the first 4 innings, Mets had base runners. Lots of traffic, but we just weren't cashing in. Villar reaches on an infield single to second. A ground ball hit to Trey Turner. He rushes a little bit, can't make the play. And then McCann, he grounded the pitcher for the first out. And the pitcher spot, old friend Jake Reed, he grounds into a fielder's choice. Villar avoided the tag, and the throw was a little late to first. Jake Reed, he was hauling ass, 29.4 feet per second down that first baseline. And then Muncy gets the ball. He tried to double clutches it to get the out at third, but both runners were safe on the play. Really that Seager's play there. Got to try to make that tag, but he did a nice job avoiding it. But that was one of the defensive lapses of tonight's game. And then on a 3-2 count, he walks Nemo, and then Conforto grounded out to first, scoring Villar, making it 6-2 Dodgers. So on this play, Max Muncy fields it, and he's looking at home like he might go home. He makes the right play, gets the guaranteed out at first. And when you have that kind of lead, you just need outs, and he made the right play and the right decision. So and then on the 1-2 pitch, Scherzer gets Alonso with a filthy slider, and that brought up and then Nemo advanced to second and Reed to third. That brought up Pete Alonso with runners on second and third and 2 outs. And then on a 1-2 pitch, Scherzer gets Alonso with a filthy slider at the bottom of the zone to get out of the inning. I think that was Max. Doom Sal, $5. Appreciate you. Thanks a lot, man. You said Audrey Jackson starting tomorrow. Keith Evans, has that been announced? I appreciate that because we heard some talked about that and they were TBD. So appreciate that information. LLWC, wouldn't bet on that. What are your thoughts on Trey so far? I really like him. I love Trey Turner as a player. He's a true 5 tool. Hit a little bit of a slump, but you saw today what he's capable of. I mean, it was really the runs, the ability to generate runs, the ability to generate offense. You're seeing why he's such a premium talent. Smash that like button. Show D-Max love. Appreciate you, Diane Schroeder, as always. Here we go. Who's starting tomorrow? Jackson getting the call. Trey is a liability. Trust me, Trey's not a liability. Let me help you with that one. He's not. He's not even. He is tremendous as a player, and he's a guy that is going to figure it out at second. I mean, I'm not worried at all. Not even spending one split second worrying about it. Nunez is the Chapman of LA. Man, it's crazy how his delivery mimics that so well. But I thought really that was the pitch tonight for Scherzer, getting that slider, the bottom of the zone, just a perfectly executed pitch there, gets the big punch out. Because, look, like I said, the Mets had opportunities to score some runs, and we've seen so many wild things happen this season. And then the top of the sixth, Bellinger, he strikes out swinging. McKinney triples to deep right. And then Scherzer hit a sac fly to center, scoring McKinney, making it 7-1 LA. And then on a 3-2 pitch, Trey Turner took ball 4 outside. That's the other thing, too. His strike zone awareness is elite, too. One of the best two-strike hitters in baseball. That is how you continue to extend innings. That's how you generate big, crooked number innings with that kind of guy leading off your lineup. Then we got Trey Turner as a stud. Headline, Max can't touch Scherzer. Yeah, give me your mock headlines, guys, down below in the comments section. Here we go. We got Justin Turner walked. And then on a 3-2, and then on a 2-0 count, Max Muncy crushed his second bomb of the game. Another changeup that made it 9-2 Dodgers. So Max Muncy, he goes deep for the second time, and yeah, I mean, he was just crushing them. Like I said, the real game ball for the season, for this game, you got to give it to the guy that flashed that green laser at Max Muncy, because he said, hey, man, I'm going to be hitting lasers off this bat because you made Mad Max very mad. So it was nice to see another bomb for him today, his 25th of the season. And, yeah, he's rolling, man. He's starting to really get hot again. We got A-Rod was good tonight for defending the Dodgers, but he was tripping on his starting rotation. Yeah, he was. That was rough, man. Look, I credit that. You know, I'm not defending A-Rod. I'm just saying, like, a lot of people, Kershaw has been such a legend that when you talk to someone who's just like, you know, kind of in the Dodgers or they have another team, they still think very highly of Kershaw as an ace. So, hey, Matt, do you think we can move Trey to the outfield and have Mookie play second to ease his injury? That's definitely an option. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how Mookie responds to the shots that he received. That can alleviate the pain enough to where he can play right field. Because, look, if Mookie's not in right field last year in the NLCS, the drought is still alive for the Dodgers. So I want to see him in right field making plays. And then so that makes it 9-2 Dodgers. Then the bottom of the 7, Nunez, he walks Nemo, gives up a single to Conforto. Alonso fly to center for the first out. And then he walks Smith to load the bases, and Nunez's day was done. So he didn't come in and do the job. And in comes Edwin Uceta. He throws a wild pitch. Mets score on that wild pitch. That makes it 9-3 Dodgers. 9-3. Was it 9-4? I think it was 9-4 at that time. No, I think it was 9-3 Dodgers. And then he walks McNeil, loading them up for Davis. Davis hits a sac fly to center. Just missed it, too. That was close to a grand salami there. He just missed it. That makes it 9-4. And then Uceta gets Villar looking with a changeup, bottom of the zone. And, hey, Edwin Uceta truthers, I don't know if there's any of you out there, you had a pretty nice night. Because top of the 8th, Uceta gets his first base hit of his career. Say it with me, guys. Edwin Uceta rakes. And then Trey Turner, he flied to center for the first out. Muncy walked, then Turner flied to right, and then Seager walked, loading the bases for Will Smith. And then Will Smith, he reached on an infield single, scoring Uceta and Smith, making it 11-4 Dodgers. And then Chris Taylor, CT3, he stroked a double to left, scoring Seager to make it 12-4 LA. And you're just seeing it became a laugher at that point. I just don't – do you guys think that this whole position player thing is bad for baseball? I mean, I thought that it really was kind of a joke there towards the end. I mean, you saw what happened. There. I mean, when Beatty, Trey Turner was hit by the pitch in the 9th inning, and then Beatty hit one to the moon on that 67 mile per hour. I guess they called it a slider, whatever the heck that was. And I just don't want to see, like they said, that. I mean, I was saying it here. I mean, I just don't want to see someone get hurt on some cheapie. But to hell with the DH. Brett Anderson was a Dodger. D-Mac, do you think Justin Brule should make the postseason roster? I don't anticipate that, especially if all guys get healthy. But Mets are mad and going to crush the Giants. Yeah, that is my hope, that You get a motivated Mets team going out to the West Coast, and they're a team that's still in the mix because of the NL East, how bad they are as a division this year. But look, the bottom line, the Dodgers, they took care of business. The Dodgers went on a road trip where they were facing the hottest team, quote-unquote, in baseball in the Phillies that had just won 8 games. They take 2 of 3 from Philadelphia, could have possibly won that final game. Mitch White, he gives up 2 runs, but Dodgers couldn't get it done offensively in that one. And they go to New York, sold-out crowd, or a lot of fans in attendance. You got that Mets, that New York buzz. Everyone in town to see the Dodgers, and the Dodgers, they win two extra innings games, and they get a laugher today. So you got the nail biter, you got the laugher, and Dodgers did exactly what they needed to do. And I think that they're right in a good position where there's a tough road trip coming up for the San Francisco Giants. They got hopefully a motivated Mets team, and they're going to be hitting the road, playing the Oakland A's for a 3-game set on the road. They're going to New York to play 3 games. You have the Braves playing 3 games. So a 9-game road trip, 6 against the NL East, and then you got the Oakland A's. I'm telling you, this Cinderella is going to, that thing's going to turn into a pumpkin. That carriage is going to turn into a pumpkin pretty soon for the San Francisco Giants. I think the Dodgers, they're going to continue to climb. And the thing is, with this Dodgers team is, this team is so talented that you know that they are going to find a way to win baseball games. And this team looks focused right now. Let me ask you guys that question. Oh, we got DMAC_SD. Smith is costing us games. He's a low-level catcher at best. What up, DMAC_SD? How do you guys feel about this team? Do you think they look focused? I mean, do you feel like this team is ready to make a run? Do you think – predict the Dodgers' next 10 games. Predict the Dodgers' record in the next 10 games. We got winning those 2 extra innings games stoke the fire. Yeah, I definitely – look, now they got that extra innings monkey off their back. Now they're not thinking of what could happen, and they're a team that realizes they can go and win those games. They're now 3-12 in extra innings, right? I mean, they actually have won some games, but don't even know who is pitching. Dodgers spike Megs. Dodgers go 8-2. I like that from Diane Schroeder. That would be definitely ideal. But if you look at the way the schedule lines up for the Dodgers, you got 3 at home versus the Pittsburgh Pirates, and then 4 so you got a 7-game homestand against Pittsburgh and New York. Then you got that 3-game set at San Diego. So hopefully, at worst, they take 2 of 3 from San Diego. You saw Fernando Tatis Jr. He had a phenomenal game in his first game back. He was playing in right field. But you saw Pomeranz is out for them. They're having a lot of injury issues themselves. Darvish has not been good, and you saw the issues with him. And then Blake Snell, he had a nice start. But, look, they're a team that's reeling. I mean, they just got no hit by the Arizona Diamondbacks. And then they come home to play 3 against Colorado and then 2 against the Braves. So, to me, I think Diane Schroeder is right on that. I mean, I think they do take at least 8 of 10 if they come in and they play Dodger baseball the right way. I do see the Dodgers going on a big run. But let's get these records, and we'll be out of here. Be sure to rock with my man, the producer of the show, Mr. Clint Pasillas, and Brooke Smith tomorrow on the Blue Heaven podcast, the flagship show. Be sure to rock with them on their live stream. Yes, Dodgers 8-2. DMAC, they're going 7-3 in their next 10. Those extra innings wins were a big boost. 9-1 their next 10. Anthony Keene sticking with how I'm always wrong. Dodgers go 2-8 over their next 10. Anthony Keene, you're being too hard on yourself. I can count a lot of times you've been spot on. So don't. But I know what you mean, because what you really mean by that is 2-8. The wink, maybe reverse that. I get it. What's up, my clone from DMAC_ID? Padres are done. DMAC_SD. That doesn't sound like a take from you. Roach, the Padres need to worry about the Reds. Yeah, the Reds continue to win games, and they're hot on their tail as well. It's a great point. They're a team that offensively has a lot of firepower. There's no question about it. And yeah, I mean, they are definitely scratching and clawing, and they're a team that if they get on a slump, the Reds can definitely get it. The Reds just 2.5 games back of San Diego for that last and final spot in the wild card game. We know the Dodgers, they're comfortably going to host the wild card game if they don't catch the Giants. Right now, 4 games behind. I'm hoping last 10 Dodgers, they've won 8 of their last 10. Look at the Dodgers win differential at plus 193. Reds catch the Popes, Blue Magic. Laser tag game, big time. Let's go Reds. Do you think Knebel should close games in the postseason? Look, if this team is going to have a deep postseason run, there's no doubt in my mind that Evil Knebel is going to go out there and get some big saves. And look, last year what happened, you saw Blake trying to get some big saves. You saw what Julio Urias was able to do. This team understands when it's crunch time in October, you don't just give the ball to Kenley Jansen and say, oh, go get us these last 3 outs. Let's see what happens. No, this team has learned from their mistakes, and that's why I don't get too caught up in the Kenley Jansen closer argument, because I know when it matters most, the Dodgers don't have that approach with Kenley Jansen. But give Kenley a lot of credit the other night. He comes up big and was a big reason why the Dodgers were able to win that extra innings game. And I think that you want to just optimize him. You don't want him to go out there when he doesn't have it. And I think that they're going to get some saves from him, hopefully, and then hopefully you see some from Corey Knebel. And then maybe if the Dodgers have a trick up their sleeve when it comes to a reliever, a starter going to a reliever, we'll see what happens with Cole Hamels and Danny Duffy. We'll see what they do with Julio Urias. Look, this team, Max Scherzer, what he was able to do, and Walker Buehler, this team understands they need to finish the job. And I don't think they're afraid to throw anyone out there if they think they can get those final 3 outs. So can we catch the Giants, D-Mac? I think we can. When they don't catch the Giants, from Tom Dolan. We got Smith better, thank God they don't start having a DH for catcher. Yeah, for sure. Don't need to catch the G-Nats. But yep, guys, bottom of the 9th, 2 outs. Final takes here. Going to do a nice little tight show today for you guys. But Dodgers get the big win, and they take care of business on the road. 5 home runs for your Dodgers tonight. Max Muncy exploded for 2. You had the revenge home runs from you just see that extra twinkle in his eye when he's playing the LOL Mets. And you got to love it, the fact that they let Justin Turner go, and he becomes a Dodgers legend for what he's done in the regular season and the postseason. And then, look, across the board, just so many positive things to think about. With even Corey Seager, he got a knock tonight too. You saw Chris Taylor, you got that big double. Then Cody Bellinger was able to get a double tonight as well. So really love what you saw tonight from this Dodgers offense. Hopefully it's not one of those situations, like you said earlier, where we get D-Mac, where we struggle offensively after an offensive explosion. But I think that this team is fully in the stretch run mode of this season. I think that this is a veteran team that's been through these battles. They understand how to pace themselves. The team like the Giants, yes, they have some veterans on that team as well, but this Dodger team, they understand what it requires to win this division and win the World Series, and they're going to pace themselves, and I think that they've flipped that switch, and they're ready to roll, and they're ready to close this season strong and overtake the Giants in the division, and I think it happens sooner than people realize. But Pod's coming for the Doyers, Maximus. But yeah, guys, love to see Urias stay as a starting pitcher. Diane Schroeder, me too. I mean, that is where your value really comes from. And he actually pitched really well in that game 4 for the Dodgers, and he was the bulk guy in that clinching Game 3 in the NLDS against the San Diego Padres. So he's a guy that ultimately gives you 6 strong versus 2 or 3 strong out of the bullpen. But you never know what this team's going to do as far as using him as a weapon, because they've seen what he can do on that big stage. But I'm with you 100%. You want to see him out there doing what he does best, which is giving you 6, 7 or 8 quality innings. That's ideal for Julio Urias. Piazza wasn't that bad defensively. But, yeah, thanks for rocking with us, guys, here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. That's at DMAC_LA. Great point, Leo ZZ Top. The Dodgers are battle-tested, need to finish strong. And they realize, look, we're the team that came back down 3-1. We're the team that had the heartbreaking loss in Game 4 of the World Series and came back to win the next 2 and win the World Series. So they understand what it's like to go through some tough times. They understand what it means to face adversity and come out on top on the other side. So I definitely agree with you on that. But Edward, hey, D-Mac, great win tonight, and what a sweep. Quick question. Do you think Cole Hamels will be used in the bullpen? What's your take? So looking at Cole Hamels in September, I do think Dave Roberts said the plan is to bring him in and have him start games. But I think when he comes in, we see how he fares. I think he could be a guy that could be a potential long man out of that bullpen for the Dodgers. And look, if he comes in, we're going to know in the first couple starts what we're going to get from him, in my opinion. I think that if he comes out there and he looks like he can contribute, I think that he's open, just like David Price was open, to go to that bullpen and just say, hey, I want to win another World Series. David Price has won one. Max Scherzer's won one. Cole Hamels has won one. These guys just want another ride, and they want to hoist that piece of metal another time, and as well as a lot of these other Dodgers. So, Dugout, peace out. Great show, D-Mac. Thanks, guys. Yeah, you guys are the best fans of the game. You know that. Appreciate you, Julio, down by the schoolyard. You guys are the best fans of the game. You know that. You know where to find me, too, on Twitter and Instagram, at DMac_. Thanks a lot, Kathy. Thanks a lot, Deborah Young. You guys are happy. You know, you guys can tell in the comments, you guys are happy. Cesar, hey, D-Mac, have a good one. T and Jim, you guys are happy because Dodgers are starting to play better, and I love to see it because I want you guys to stay happy, and I want us to keep stacking these dubs and catch the Giants in the division. But thanks for rocking with us, guys. As always, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. That's at DMac_LA. For all things Dodger baseball, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel at youtube.com/DodgersNationTV. For all latest Dodgers Nation merch, head over to gearup.la. For all latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
It's time for Dodger Baseball.
What a catch by Mookie Betts. Another home run for Corey Seager. Another strikeout for Kershaw. A robbery of Tatis. Gone. Will Smith. This is what an ace looks like.
And tagged out is Riley, a double play.